Good afternoon, my darlings. We have reached the end of August. It is the 31st, a Saturday. Quite a busy day we have had at the Fairy Castle. We are in the process of packing. Packing for the beginning of term for university. It's her third year. This third year, she will be finishing her dissertation on bird flu and other zoological diseases, and she will be finishing her degree as it stands. And then, as I have explained before, she goes straight into her master's in year 4 because it is a combined part and parcel of her degree. So she gets her first degree summer next year, and the summer the year after she gets her master's, and with a bit of luck after that she can pop on and do her PhD. No biggie, but I'm sure she can manage it. She's worked incredibly hard today, and we have got so much work finished. Her Royal Highness's matched luggage will arrive soon, and we will have her packed finally, properly and fully, not next weekend, but hopefully the weekend after. You have no idea the preparation that goes into planning and ensuring that your child has everything that they need to be away from home for 1 year. And I am sure if things get missed or forgotten about, we can either send it by post, or if it's truly, truly urgent, we can get it sent up immediately by a parent. But yeah, it comes with a lot of emotions, doesn't it? The end of summer and the beginning of the autumn term and the beginning of the new year that our children go through. For some of you, it will be your very first summer that you're going to send your 18-year-old child away from home, which is utterly terrifying. It truly is. And sometimes your children are moving hundreds of miles away from you. And it does bring quite the conundrum as to how to get to them in case of an emergency. These things hopefully never happen, and I don't wish to fill parents with absolute dread, because that's not what this is about. This is supposed to be helpful and comforting to you, especially for parents that it may be the first time a child of theirs has left home. For me, it's my second is, she's my baby, and it has been quite the experience, and no two children are the same. And my first daughter, she did her nursing degree, but actually stayed home and studied in Bradford for her nursing degree. But it was all during the pandemic, and everything was just such a flipping mess. And it just worked out better that she did her degree from home. And in fact, within the first year of her doing her degree, she was hardly in university at all, apart from when it was absolutely necessary and she needed to do the medical side of her training. And obviously she can't do that from her bedroom because utterly impossible. However, be that as it may, she managed to get through her entire degree and came out with a first-class degree with honours paediatric nursing. So well done to my eldest. And for my youngest, her passion is zoological, everything zoologist. She loves zoology. She loves animals. She's also partial to studying diseases, and has happened upon one of the greatest lecturers of all up in Newcastle, who is an epidemiologist, and he also teaches zoology, and his speciality is bird flu. And he has taken my daughter, pardon the pun, under his wing and is teaching her and helping her with her final third year, and dare I say, will be there for her during her fourth year in her master's when she's doing that as well. It's just, they saw something in our daughter and basically turned around and said, yes, you are very clever. We like you. We're going to educate you. We see something in you, potential, and you will be very good at epidemiology. So good luck to our youngest, and we'll see what happens. I've just told her not to bring her work home with her. It's a little bit dangerous. But to all parents that are going through this, you're going to be feeling levels of anxiety that you didn't think were possible. I know, I've been there. I've done it with both of them. And it doesn't get any easier, even this third year of taking her back to university. Securing a place for them to live isn't easy. And the rents are astronomical. I just don't know how they expect them to be able to afford somewhere to live, buy food, and genuinely survive on the pittance that they are given. If it wasn't for support from parents, personally, I don't know how these children would seriously cope. And it just so happens that the food shop, if you can buy anything in bulk, do so, because it will help your children in the long run. Giant rolls of toilet roll, it helps. Washing powder in bulk, that helps. Anything, rice, pasta, cheap meals, easy things to cook. Getting them something that is easy to use. Sometimes the cookers that they provide in these halls of residence are so beyond, I don't know how the cookers are working. We've actually provided our daughter with a Ninja air fryer, double oven, to take with her, because she's sharing with two of the girls. And we're basically to spread the cost of everything, because no parent can shoulder it alone. Find out, top tip this is, find out what each person is bringing and then split it. So one can bring a vacuum cleaner, one bring a toaster, one bring a kettle. Somebody else bring the oven, and someone else bring kitchen knives, plates, cups, glasses. Someone else bring up an ironing board. Divvy everything up, split it. And one of the nicest things about living with three of you in your flat is the food bill. If you tend to cook a meal, cook enough for three and split the cost. It does help. And laundry, again, wait until you've all got enough together to be able to get a wash in. It helps. I know it seems like we're bean counting, but with the cost of living and everything else, if you can work together, it will ease the financial burden upon yourselves. Look also at getting a job, hopefully with the university. My daughter did apply, and we're waiting to hear back. So here's hoping that it'll be a nice little earner for her. If it just gives her a little bit of money extra so that she can, I don't know, excuse me. Oh, sorry, very tiring day. We've been doing that much packing. I don't know if it helps with travel fare. maybe in reading week, because you get to learn about reading week as well. That's usually a week that they can come home, get a good cooked meal, bring home their laundry, and ease the cost of their existence at university. You'll find reading week will be a week that they'll want to come back and basically raid your cupboards and make sure that they've got clean laundry to go back with, and bedding. Oh yes, they'll always bring the bedding home with them, and they'll want that sorting. If you can see behind me, but what we tend to do um, is a backpack. These are an absolute godsend. And you shove the duvets in and towels. And, I've got 2 or 3 of these, and they're absolutely huge, but they will go in the top box. And these take up, they're like safe space savers, and they save lots and lots of room, which means that you can get more in, because believe me, it's like packing up their entire world for 1 year. And it can actually be quite terrifying. I mean, it's not unknown for the children of newly leaving the house that they will phone home and they will be quite tearful and upset with being away from home, especially if it's the first time. Um, and you will get strange questions. How do I cook a potato was what I got. And I thought, blimey, haven't you seen me prepare enough of them over the years? But no, needed a talk on how to make mashed potato. It happens. Other things that you get phone calls on are how do I pay bills, and what do I do with my overdraft? Oh, excuse me. Oh, so sorry. We've been so busy today. We've been ironing clothes and packing. Yes, we can tell my eyes are red because of the heat of the iron. Oh, that's a t-shirt behind me that needs packing as well. Um, you will get questions like, how do I operate my overdraft, and how do I buy a train ticket? Especially, teenagers aren't exactly taught these things at school, and I would honestly advocate for anyone that's going off to university for the first time, it would be useful at the school if they went through things like overdraft facilities, setting up student bank accounts, getting a rail card, an interrail card. One of the things that my daughter was looking for was a student rail card. See if any banks are offering that as part of an incentive to have a student account with them. You get lots of different things. Also, very important, get your National Student Union card. They get you money off books and things. So, like, oh, what's that? Blackwell's, yes. The book company. You can get 10% off there, and you get you're studying books. Sorry, loose hair. I had my hair cut yesterday. I still keep finding loose hair about me. I have had a shower as well, believe it or not. So I don't know where that's come from. And anyway, back to student union cards, and get that, because you might get food 10% off food points if you get Tesco points or Sainsbury's reward points. Pass them on to your child, and it could help them get anything that they can get off their food bill, off their food shop, because that's biggie. The food shop is hard. It's learning what you can cook within a budget that, of course, is going to be edible, because they may not be able to cook when they go, but they will be able to cook when they get back, which is very important. Give them easy student meals that they can make. Spaghetti bolognese is a good one. Chicken teriyaki with rice, stir fry, a fake away. That's a good one. Teach them how to be able to steam and boil vegetables. A rice cooker is a good idea that saves time and money. Not only can you make a rice cooker just for that, but you can put a stew in it. You can cook pasta in it. You can make soups in it. You can do overnight oats, porridges, yogurt. You can make that in it. I'm just thinking of all the things that I can make out of my hot crock pot that I have upstairs. Well, I bought a mini one for my daughter, and she takes that with her. And when the weather is incredibly cold, they can put stew on in the morning and come back to it, and it'd be cooked for them and ready. And it costs literally pennies to run, especially if your child is in a residence that all the bills aren't included and they have to pay the gas and electric extra. My best advice that I would ever give is be wary of getting a house when you're a student. Landlords can be very unpredictable and can cause problems for your child. I'm just saying it can be a little bit of a wary time. If they can get in halls of residence for the first year whilst they're getting used to it, good. If they can move into cheaper accommodation maybe the year after when they've got a group of friends, that is also a good idea. And then in the third year, maybe they can move into student flat sharing accommodation. Each year, you're getting your child more and more used to different ways of living. And eventually, and as heartbreaking as this is for us parents, they will fly the nest. They will do it properly. I look on university as a halfway place for you, the parent, and for the child, where you're both learning to exist with each other. It's a different way of living. And you're getting used to your child not being there, and your child is getting used to learning fledglingly to be an adult. And eventually, when university is over, some may come home and look for a job and then move out, and some may already have got a job lined up and are ready to move to where their job is. And this 3-year period is a way to ease you into having an empty nest and for your child to be getting the skills that they need in order to make it out there in the adult world. And that it's like a grace period of the 3 years where they get to have the taste of what it's like to be an adult, but not necessarily all the responsibilities that an adult life brings. But it is giving them the skills, the key skills that they're going to need in order to make it in the adult world. And I just think 3 years is a perfectly good time. 4 years if you can, if they go and do a master's. It just gives them that confidence of I can do this, and it gives you, the parent, the confidence of my child has got this. I'm still there in the background. I will always be there for them, and I will always be their number one supporter. But for them to have grasped what they need to do and to learn about themselves as they're going along and learning all these skills, and you're learning new things about yourself as well, and you're learning how to cope without having your children at home. And it's weird. You go from a very busy full-on house where everybody is coming and going and you jabber, 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 and I need this doing, that doing, I need it doing yesterday, to suddenly the wind could blow through the house and you would think it was company because it's so quiet, and the cat's looking at you very worriedly thinking, is today the day that I get to wear the bonnet and she puts me in a pram? You know, it's literally like that. It's a very strange feeling knowing that your child has suddenly become this fabulous adult and you're busy, even though they're still coming back, but they're going away again. And it gets you used to the fact that eventually when they do go for good, you've got this, you are going to be fine, and you're not going to fall on the ground and be an absolute heap of crying wreck going, oh, where have my babies gone? You know, I know, I feel it, I do, I feel the heart, my heart strings tugged. I don't want them to, but I can't stop it and I have to embrace it. And they will still need their mother. They will still want and love their mother, but they'll also be living their life and getting out there and doing their thing. And I think at the age of 50, which I will be in 2 years' time, it's the perfect age as well for them to go out and do their thing, and for me to be able to do my thing and relax and remember that I'm not just mum, that I am me too, and that I have a life and things that I want to be able to do. I mean, next year I'm going to Pompeii, I'm going to Sorrento, I'm going up Vesuvius. I'm like, yes, please give me some of that. An adventure for me. And I'll be 49 next year. And for my 49th birthday, Sorrento. I've always wanted to see Pompeii, but I've never really felt like I can do that because I've got children at home. But now my children are leaving and going off and doing their thing, I'm getting to see a little bit more of Europe and places that I haven't been. And I'm getting to experience these places with my husband. And I think it's wonderful. And likewise, my children are going off and doing things. This year we've done South Korea. She's been up to the DMZ as my youngest, with South Korea on one side and North Korea on the other. And she's done that as her adventure. My eldest has been off to Bosnia, and in a few weeks she's off to Slovenia. Perfect. And then next year, my youngest is doing a stint in Japan. So, we're all going off in our different directions, but we are a family that all come back together, literally sit round the kitchen table, share a meal, and we talk about the adventures that we've been on, the ones that we're going on, and we remember we are one, we are a united family, and we are there for each other. And it doesn't matter. And that's the kind of thing that I'm hoping is for you guys, that your children will go off and do their adventures and do all these crazy things while they're at university, and they'll still come back to you, my darlings. They always will. They're your children. You're never going to be free of them. But they will go off and do their own things. I promise you. But it can be very daunting going and doing your first year at university, and you're not alone, and you will get questions and you will be asked, how do I boil a potato? How long does pasta take? How do you know when the meat's done on the chicken? Well, usually when it's cooked all the way through, my darlings, and you can't see any pink or red, it has to be a solid white. My rule of thumb for cooking is when it's brown, it's done, and when it's black, it's buggered. And if you can get it somewhere in between the two, you're going to have a nice meal. And my girls swear by that. And they've done all their cooking to mother's rule, you know. So adopt the attitude of that and you'll be fine. You won't get food poisoning. But try wherever you can to share costs with your flatmates. Try to avoid renting a house because it's a pitfall of lots of problems, not least unruly landlords and unscrupulous landlords as well. They could whack the rent up halfway through a contract, and it has happened. And they've also asked people to leave halfway through a contract, and that is also a problem when you're hundreds of miles away from mum and dad and you need to get your course finished and you might not be able to find anywhere to live urgently. So student accommodation with through the university, should I say, is a far safer option, but for both your child and also for the parents' peace of mind of knowing that their child is safe. If you're feeling homesick or lonely, you do have reading weeks coming up, and if it's so bad, work out when you don't have a lecture, and if you don't have any for a couple of days and it's near a weekend, come home. Just settle yourself again. It's not like you failed. You haven't. You've just realised that you need a little bit more support, and it's no biggie. My daughters did it. Well, my second daughter especially did it. She'd only spent a couple of weeks in Newcastle and was feeling terribly homesick. And so she came home and she was absolutely fine once she'd done that, and she just went back and she saw out her first year. And yes, we did reading week as well during that time. It was a bit scary, but she found her feet and she made some friends, and it's just the rest is history. And she's learned to budget and managed to find a bank account that did an Interrail student card, which is an absolute godsend because rail tickets are phenomenally expensive. They really are. And it's sometimes it pays just to shop around when you're getting a ticket home. And if you're an overseas student, make friends with a British student, and that way then, if you're feeling the pangs of homesickness and your family are thousands of miles away, if you're friends with a British family, you can go and stay with them and have the ability to have the British parents take care of you, thus giving peace of mind for parents that are abroad. You know, they know that their child is safe with another loving, caring family and they're being taken care of. And believe me, we do it. I've done it. It's no biggie. People they come home to me, not only to, be friends with my daughter, but they also love to come home and see their British adopted parents, if you like. It's just the kind of people we are. But yeah, it's not easy. And I take my hat off to you, parents and students that are going out and doing this very brave thing and going to university this September. You've got this. I know you've got this, and you're going to be just fine. And no doubt, get in touch with me and let me know how you're getting on, right? Because I love to know. I'm always here for you to talk to me if you've got any worries about student life and being a student, parent, and letting the children go for the first time. It's not easy. So if you like what I said and you like what I do, you can always give me a thumbs up. And if you really like what I do, you can always give me a follow. And look out for a new video another time. Take care, my darlings. Bye bye.